Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. So let's get into the messages I have for today. Baby, got a few dreams, okay, to share with you guys. Anyways, in his first dream, which was very interesting, um, in his dream I saw someone going to adopt a baby. Okay, they adopted this baby, and in their mind, in their hearts, they already knew that they were going to use this baby for something. So this would be like someone having, like, this is someone with some kind of intentions. They had intentions for why they adopted this child. They were not adopting this child out of the kindness of their heart. They were not adopting this child because they truly loved the child. They weren't adopting this child because they were concerned about what could possibly happen if they don't adopt the child. They weren't adopting the child because they felt sorry for the child. They weren't adopting the child because they were concerned about the parents of the child. They adopted the child for a reason. However, as this child grew up, whatever this reason that they had for adopting the child was not connected to that. They strayed away from it. And it's not like in the dream, I just feel like whatever it is something that the child is not interested in. And they want different. They want something else for themselves. And, for some, this is a situation where they wanted evil for this child. They wanted something bad to happen to this child. They wanted a bad life for this child. And for some, it's like just a situation where someone wanted a certain life for a child and they wanted something different. They want a different life. They want to live their life differently. It could go, I just feel like this is just, and that's what it is. And then I heard God speak after this dream saying life for themselves. The scripture comes from Psalm 139. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me and behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful me, too lofty for me to attain. So here's the message. So this is a situation where God already knew what was going to happen. God already knew what was going to happen. God knew it. God knew it. God knew it. And we already know that when God chooses us for certain things, God chooses us in the womb. Okay? It's not a situation where there was never a point where God did not know that, regardless if this is the parent watching this video or if this is the child, there was never a point where God did not know that this child would want to go a different way. And I feel like this is a child that is an adult. This is now an adult. Okay. There was never a moment where God was like, oh, well, I don't think they're going to know. It was never a moment. It was never a moment where God assumed that they were going to stray from what he wanted them to do. And I just feel like that's the biggest thing. This could be a situation where this adoptive parent may be angry. They may be upset because they are feeling as though they put a lot of money and a lot of energy into this child, and they were expecting this child to do whatever certain task, or they were going to take up whatever kind of career path, or they were going to live their life a certain kind of way, and they are not. And I hear for somebody, they were being raised for a slaughter. They were being raised to do something that they don't want to, like. And I truly feel like, because let's be real, for the most part, most children want to do something to make their parents proud. Like that is just natural. It is natural instinct for a child to want their parents to be proud of them. Um so whatever this is, I truly feel like it is something that is not I just feel like it's not good. It's something that is not it's not a good thing. Like it's something to such an extent that the child, they wouldn't be proud of themselves. Like they wouldn't be able to live with themselves. They wouldn't be happy with themselves, and that is the reason that they don't want to. That is the reason they turned away from it. That is the reason they are not going down that path. And it's just I just feel like it's sad all around, because it's like whoever this adoptive parent is, they are feeling very frustrated, very angry, because they felt as though they had, like, even throughout the dream, which it was a long dream, y'all, this parent was manipulating things to try to twist and turn this child's life to go a certain way. So, like this is a parent that would be pushing the child towards being a certain way. Like if this is a parent, we already know the way the world is going right now. The way things is happening in this world right now, all of these people like are being exposed for their discretions, their lustful natures, their people that are being put on. Like we are living in a world where God is exposing people left and right. And what we have to realize is it's not just famous people that are doing these evils. Like there are people being exploited and trafficked everywhere. And it could be a situation where there was someone pulling strings to try to make a child out to be a certain kind of way. And that is so sad. Like I don't know, this is such a sad message, but this is something where someone could have orchestrated abuse and molestation and assaults to such an extent to try to push someone to do something, and they don't want to do it. And like they have received healing from that money can't buy. They have received healing that it's unspoken. Like God has healed whoever this child is from everything that they've been through, and they are not interested, and it's just like I just feel like this is to such an extent, like the whoever the adoptive parent is angry, they pissed, they are not happy that this happened. They are feeling as though everything is not right. I'm being reminded of a movie, what is it, Medea Family Reunion, where the mom was talking, like she had two daughters. One of the daughters, she allowed her husband to do whatever he wanted to her, so that he would carry on being married to her, because he was going to leave if she didn't allow him to. And the other daughter, she orchestrated for her to be basically sold off to the highest bidder, and he was abusing her and mistreating her. And it's just like all of this for her own selfish gain, okay? And then she it's generations, because she revealed to them that her mother did it to her when she was a little girl, that she would let her go, let men do whatever with her. And this is I feel like this is something that has been on the hush hush in the world. Like this is something that hasn't been full, you know what I'm saying, in the forefront, but God is revealing so many things right now. And whoever this child is, they not for it. They are not. It's a situation where this person may have been through so many traumas. They may have had to deal with so many things that were orchestrated. They were done on purpose to try to push them into doing this, but they not doing it. And every time that they may have ended up in a situation where someone was trying to mean them for evil, they may have found themselves in little traps, found themselves in pits, found themselves, and like the kind of pits and traps I'm talking about is where they thought they were in a relationship with someone, but this person was really trying to pimp them out, and God pulled them out because God does not want that. God, like, I feel like God would turn anybody's eye away from them. God has shielded them to such an extent. Like, this is someone that has been shielded from this. They have been shielded from this. And it's to I just feel like it's to such an extent at this point that even if they were okay with it and they agreed and they went along with it, they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to. And that's just the truth of the matter. That's the truth of the, like, they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able, they, like, it's not a situation where they themselves, like, this is something, like, God is saying not for discussion. This is not for discussion. This is not up for discussion, because God has his own will. He has his own plan for them. He has his own plan for their life, and it is not connected to this. And I just feel like this situation is just, it's jacked up, man, that someone would even, think in this matter, like in this mindset. Like, this is someone that was thinking, and in their mind, for the future. They're thinking for the future. In the future, I'll be able to do this. In the future, this is going to happen. In the future. And they plan for it. They did certain things. They didn't teach them certain things, and they taught them certain things. And they raised them up a certain way that would kind of push them towards going down that route. But, like I said, to their horror, they did not go down that route. To their horror, they are not that way. It could even be a situation where this person had to deal with a lot of lies, a lot of deceit, and this deceit and the lies would be coming from people coming up with rumors and lying on them and saying that they did things and were doing things that they never did, that they were never doing. People having a perception of them being a certain way that they were not. Um, I just feel like this is a full blown situation where someone was literally raised up and to be like a sacrifice. Like, someone was literally raised up to just be a slave. And God said no. Like, no, 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 no. And whoever this person is that was the child that is now an adult, like, at this point, it's not a, like, you don't, you're not down with that. It's something that you don't want to do. It's something you're not interested in. And yeah, this is fed charges, okay, for the record. Okay. This is like this is something that is crazy. Like but I just feel like it's done discreetly. So cuz this is somebody, the whoever this adoptive parent, they don't want to go to the feds. They are not wanting to go cuz baby, we already know there's some steep charges right here. But they don't want that kind of attention on them. And yeah, and that's literally the explanation. I don't know if this is for the parent or the child, and it may just be a situation where a parent wanted their child to do something that they wanted them to do, and God has a whole different path for them. And Hmm, baby, there's been, I just feel like with this is a lot of manipulation, because in this dream, like I said, it was a long dream. It's like the parent would consistently, our parents and everybody involved would consistently do things to try to push them towards that path. Like, blocking opportunities, blocking relationships, blocking friendships, blocking growth, blocking all kind of things in an attempt to force them to do what they wanted. But see, this is what God is saying. God said no. He has another path, and he this it doesn't involve this. And yeah, and I just feel like there's a lot of, at this point, it's a lot of fear, and it's fear on both sides, because the fear from the parent is coming from a stance of they don't want to go to jail, but they want what they want, but they don't want to go to jail. And it's like, this is not a, like, at this point, they can, this is like, an adult is going to make their own decisions. You can't make an adult do anything. You cannot, um yeah, and that's literally what it is. And they thought that they had raised them the way that would push them to do this, but it's not so. And it could simply be a situation where they had went through things in their life, and they had been through things that pushed them to be a certain way. But the child, like I said, they have received healing through God. They have received healing through Christ. The Lord has, like, healed their heart, healed their soul to such an extent that they are not interested in doing this. And they were open to it. And they so they are feeling like very frustrated, okay? Because if they try to force their way with this is jail time, okay? And that's just to be real. And even if they have were to have connections or something like that to get out, or they come up with a lie or this excuse, that excuse, they, in the end, they are going to lose out. They are not going to be able to force this child to do this. It's not going to happen. Like I said, the child can make any decision. And if it is to such an extent that they are not able to have a relationship with this parent, or if it's to an extent where they just completely don't talk to them anymore, they have to leave and never speak to them again, or they have to move, to a different state, different country, different whatever. I just feel like that is a valid, like, they have the authority to make that decision in their life, especially when someone is trying to force them to do something they don't want to do. They are aggressive towards them and putting them in a position to where they don't feel safe. Then no, they don't have to. It's not a forced situation where they just got to. So um yeah, and the child is in a position to where they don't want to lose that relationship. They don't want to, because, and this is trauma bonding. This is, what is it called? Stockholm syndrome, to such an extent, because it's like, you like, and that's part of it, like, this person building a bond with the child and getting close to them, and it's like knowing that they are going to want to give them that gratification. But I just feel like this, it's like, no, like, yes, they want the gratification of knowing that they are pleasing their parent, but they are not going to do something that they know their heavenly Father is against. God is against this. This is like, God is not okay with prostitution. He speaks about it several times in the scripture. Fornication is a sin. Adultery is a sin. So it is not a situation where, like, this child is put in a bad spot, because they cannot please this parent, this earthly parent, this adoptive parent, without doing something that would displease the heavenly parent. And they are basically put in a position to where they have to choose. And we already know that, God, we don't want no smoke with God. And I just feel like that's how this child, they don't want no smoke with God. And so they're put in a bad spot. They're put in a bad situation. They're put in a bad position. And yeah, like, this is baby, okay? But like, that's just this is a lot, okay? But it's just like, I just feel like that's the message. Yeah, and it's like they are it's, I know from the outside looking in, it would look like it would just be easy for the parents to just chill, like whoever the adoptive parent is to just let it go, but they are feeling as though they can't let it go because they put in so much effort and they put so much work towards it, and they gossip so much, and they got so many people to turn against them, and they got so many people to do this, and they conspired and they did a lot, and they are not understanding why it didn't work. It is bothering them. It's kind of like, when it's kind of like when you put so much effort and energy towards something that you just want it to happen. You just want it to work. And it just has, and that's like how they feel like it has to work. It can't fall apart. It can't not come to pass. And that is how they are feeling right now. And in reality, they are frustrated. They are angry because there's no way that it's going to come to pass. Like it's nothing. They've already tried, you know, turning anybody that cared about them against them. That has already come to pass, and they still are not going down that route. They have already destroyed relationships. They don't care. They have ignored it. They still not going down that route. They have put forth effort to cut off opportunities, and they're still not going down that route. They have started rumors, and they're still not going down that route. They have manipulated people, and they're still not going down like it is. And it's to a point, how where aggressiveness, that is not, obviously, once again, that's not going to work, because that is just going to push this person away. And even if, like I said, I feel like the child in this dream, this child was not aware of what was going on, and they care. So it's a situation where, while they don't want to be pushed away, they don't want to go away, but they will. And when it comes to them not living their life in this sinful manner, when it comes to them not doing these things, they will have, and I just feel like that's the message. It's not a like, this is someone that God is not going to allow any harm to come to them. God is not going to allow them to be taken up out of here. This person may have had points in their life where they came close, and this happened and that happened. This may have been orchestrated as well as a tactic, because they refused and because they don't want to do this. But guess what? God said no. He has a plan for their life, and they are going to do what He said, and He is going to carry on guiding them. And I just feel like, there's no reason to be nervous. There's no reason to be scared. There's no reason, because, like, once again, this is just, it's like the child is just, like, doing their thing. They are not doing anything wrong. Literally, they're doing nothing wrong. It is nothing wrong with not wanting to live your life that way. It's nothing wrong with not wanting to be a prostitute. It's nothing wrong with not wanting to sleep around with multiple people. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with saving yourself. It's nothing wrong with seeking God and following Him. And I just feel like that is literally all that the child is doing. And it is making this adoptive parent angry, because they don't want them doing that. But in reality, it's kind of like like I was saying, case closed. That, like, it's over. It's nothing that is going to happen. They don't care about rumors. They don't care who don't want to be their friend. They're not concerned with who don't want to be around with them. They're not concerned with who don't want to be in a relationship because they didn't been lied to. They, like, this is someone that is completely like, you know what? I'm just gonna follow God at this point. And this is very frustrating. It is very angering, because anything else that they do is going to get them jail time, and it is going to completely dismantle this relationship. The relationship is going to be cut off. It is going to be pulled apart. It's not going to be what it was. It's not going to, like, how do I say it? Like, how in the stories, like in the stories, and how people have told their testimony of how, when they didn't want to do what their pimp was telling them to do, They would get aggressive. They would want to fight them. They would want to take them up out of here. Any of these things is going to lead with this person going to jail. It's either going to be they go to jail, or it's not going to end up with what they want. They're still not going to get what they want, because it's like they can fight them, yeah. Okay. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Win or lose, they can fight them. But that doesn't mean that this person is going to turn around and do what they want. Like, that's not going to cause them to turn around and do what they want them to. It's not going to cause them to change their mind. It's not going to cause them to become who they want them to be. So in reality, it's kind of like nothing that can be done to make this person turn away. It's nothing that can be done to make this person turn astray from what God, the path that God has for them. It's nothing that can get them knocked off of God's path. And it literally will be much easier for this adoptive parent to just let it go. But I just feel like in this dream I get an understanding of how they feel. They feel frustrated because they've put a lot of energy into this. And they're kind of feeling, well, what was all that for? In reality, if you have to do all of that, like this manipulation and turning people against somebody and cutting off opportunities and doing all this evil and wreaking so much havoc to someone in order to get what you want, apparently what you want is not good. And that's just real. Like, that's just me being real. Apparently what you want is not good. And I just feel like, what do you expect? Like, this is not the actions of someone that likes somebody, someone that cares about somebody. And somebody that really cares and loves somebody wouldn't do all of that to try to push them to go down a certain narrative. And I just feel like this is someone that felt like um this child would be like, well, since everybody thinks I'm that way anyway, and since everybody thinks I'm doing that anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And instead you're like, no. Like, and I've heard so many people say that. It's nonsense. I've literally heard people say, if you keep accusing me of this, I'm gonna do it. And it's like, oh, why would you do that though? Like, that's not cute. That don't even make sense. Like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? It's nonsense. And I'm sorry for laughing. I'm trying to make light of this because this is such a dark and evil and just the wickedness of this message. It is just too much. But anyways, yeah, that's the message. Like, it just feels tense. It just feels tense. But the all the tenseness is coming from the adoptive parent not wanting to let go and just accept the fact that it's not, like, no, they're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. It's nothing that's going to make them do it. None of the plans works. Coming against them is not going to work. God is protecting them from any attacks. God is protecting them from anybody trying to take them up out of here. God is protecting them. And this person could have experienced so many different plots against their life and overcame all of it. This person, like, I truly felt this is somebody they'd have been through the ringer, and they don't even look like they've been through the ringer. Look good, okay? And God is saying it is not going to come to pass. It is not going to happen. This is not, and they, in some cases, they may feel like they're fighting against the child. They're not fighting against the child. They are fighting against God, and God is not going to lose. God said what He said. He said what He said. And whew, that's the message. Just like it say here, before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. God knows already. God already knew the plans wasn't going to work. God may have very well been whispering in this person's ear, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. You shouldn't do that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And they carried on. And they could have put and that may be part of the frustration, is they could have put their energy into something else. But no, because they had this plan, and they had this plan, and their plan, and they had this plan, and their plan, and they had this plan, and the plan did not work. And they mad about that. And they're angry about that. And I just feel like the saddest thing is this is in limbo. It may be a situation where this relationship is just going to fall apart, and they're not going to be able to have a bond. They're not going to be able to have a relationship. They're not going to be able to ever be close, because the parent is wanting this person to be a certain way. The parent is wanting this person to do certain things, and they are not for it. They're not going to do it. They're not here for it. They're not interested. And that's sad. That's sad, but that's the message. Whew, this is just so heartbreaking. I just feel like this is a lot. As someone who, there have been times, where it was upon my heart to adopt. I just cannot imagine someone adopting a child and deep in their heart having wicked and twisted, sick plans for a child, for a baby, for a child, and really thinking to themselves that that's what they're going to do. And raising a child, giving the child love and compassion, and knowing deep in their heart they're going to do wicked to that child and actively trying to. That's dark, okay? And I want out of this dark energy. That's the message. That is dark, and that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.